Hey YouTube, my name is Trevor. I'm from Montana. This is my trailer I put together. I hope you guys like it. This is when I bought it and pulled it home. I bought it in a small town, Sealy, Montana. It's big in snowmobiling and whatnot, but I'm pretty excited about this trailer because it is manufactured locally here in Montana, so that's pretty cool. It is a 2015 Mission all aluminum 12 foot by 8 foot trailer. It's got a 2.5 foot V nose on it. Inside, it's about 60 inches tall. It's got a 3,000 pound axle underneath it. I bought it in March, and as soon as I got home, I was so excited. I loaded up the snowmobiles and I took a snowmobile on the next day. It worked great for what I was after. I purchased 3 windows off of eBay. One was a 22-inch tall by 24-inch wide, and the other one was a 12-inch tall by 24-inch wide. And the same with the last one. It was 12 tall by 24 inches wide. I had my buddy help me install them. He's a welder, and he has an aluminum welder, so that was kind of his thing. So I let him do that. He did a good job. I owe him a big thanks. We also installed a roof vent. I don't know why, but I didn't take many pictures of it. You can kind of see it in this picture here. But at this point, I was really excited because, you could start seeing it really coming along. I started to insulate everything, and I sheeted everything with 1/8-inch Luan plywood. I even went over the ceiling with the plywood, but it's so thin that it drooped, and it didn't look very good on my straight edges, so I had to take it off, and then you can see there that it's kind of droops on the edges. So I had to take it all off, and I used 1/4-inch plywood on the top. That way it didn't droop. This is after I painted and installed a bunch of light switches on the left there, and then a bunch of LED lights 45 degree up in the corner. That aluminum in the corner was there when I got it. I bought the lights off of eBay. They were pretty cheap, and then I bought the ones in the ceiling are just under the cabinet puck lights. One thing I learned about buying cheap lights is you get what you pay for. Half of them already don't work, so get the good ones if you can take any advice at all. I also ordered, I think it was 60 feet of E-Track. I ran it along the walls there and on the floor. E-Track is awesome because you buy these clips and you can make anything you want to clip into this E-Track and anywhere you want. I also use these brackets that hold 2x4s. They're for vans and stuff, and like they hold furniture and things into place. Well, I use them for my bed. I installed this LED porch light on the outside. Here you can see I only had one brake light on each side when I first started. Well, I cut out 2 more spots on each side to add in for a backup light / load light. I have a switch on the inside that's hooked to a relay, so you can turn it on from the inside, or it also turns on with reverse. Here you can see the clips that clip into the E-Track that hold my beds up. The top bed I did first. It was just 2 2x4s and some duck cloth, but it was pulling in the 2x4s really bad, and it was kind of saggy, and with 2 of us sleeping on the bottom bunk, it really wouldn't work all that well because we'd roll into each other. So I then later went in and just screwed plywood to them, so it was a little more solid. I just recently saw a video how they had rope bedding, and they just weaved rope in and out of each other, real close to each other, so it would hold you pretty good. I think I might try that. Here's my little boy. He has helped me mount the barbecue bracket. There's single E-Track I bolted to the trailer right there, and I made welded clips to these shelf brackets, and that's what holds the barbecuer. It's just E-Track that clips in and out. It works great. I've already used it. I painted it since then, so it's a little cleaner. Here's the clips welded to the thing. I also made clips that weld to hooks that hold the chairs on the inside, so we can store them and hold the snowmobiles and stuff. I also made these hooks that hold the helmets. When I bought this trailer, it was a year holdover, so I kind of got it at a discounted price. I was in the beginning, I was kind of bummed because it didn't have the front fold down ramp door. But after I decided to build the cabinets in the front, I got over that real quick, and I really like this better. I started to build the cabinets. I wanted to make sure that the trailer was basically kind of finished on the inside, to the point that if I sold the trailer and someone wanted to take the cabinets out, it's still a trailer. They can cut some wires, pull some fuses, and it's a trailer minus the windows. I think the windows add to it whether you sleep in it or not. I installed under the cabinet LED lighting. I'm very glad I did this because it gets dark in there without it. I ordered in a bar sink and a bar faucet. It's just cold only. My uncle owns a countertop and custom cabinetry business. He specializes in Corian countertops, and he was very generous and donated his time and some of his leftover materials from other jobs to help me with this, with the countertops. I'm very thankful for that. After we got the countertops installed, I hooked up the faucet. The running water is from a 12-volt pump, and then the gray water just goes into a bucket. I'm not sure what I want to do with that yet. I don't know if I want to run it to the ground or keep a bucket in there or whatever, but for fresh water, I just ran a line into a water jug, and I have a quick connect garden hose fitting on there, so I can disconnect it and go fill it up whenever I need to. That works out great. Now this is pretty cool. This is a fireplace a guy made out of an ammo can. I ran into him. He camps out of his utility trailer, and I thought it was cool, so I went and talked to him about it. He says he has this little ammo can fireplace that he makes, and it keeps it plenty warm in there, so that gave me a great idea. I was going to make one myself, but after looking around, I found this HQ issue wall tent stove online in the Sportsman's Warehouse or something like that online, and it was so cheap. It was cheaper to just buy that, and with all the tubing and everything, it was cheaper to buy that than it was to just make one. So I bought that and got it over with. All the pipe collapses and fits inside the fireplace, and it stores. I just run the pipe through the roof, and on top I have the permanent pipe sticking out of the roof. I used 5-inch exhaust, and it sticks out of the roof about 2 inches, so when this is not in use, I just stick a 5-inch PVC cap over the top so I don't get rainwater and whatnot inside when it's not in use. Here on the outside, underneath the front of the trailer, I wired in a 120 male outlet that I could plug an extension cord in from any power source to this. I didn't want to pull a wire out of a box, kind of like they do on campers, and I thought this was cleaner, so I wired this in, and it goes to just an outlet on the inside. And on the inside I have a converter that converts 120 into 12 volt. It's actually made for LEDs, the strip lighting, and it's up to 10 amps. So my whole trailer is run off of 12 volt, and it's all less than 10 amps, so I thought this thing would be plenty. And underneath the trailer, under the tongue there, I also wired in a box. You can't see it, but the trailer originally had a 4-way plug, and I changed it to a 7-way plug. So the box is the conjunction box is underneath, right by this plug. The 7-way plug is hooked up to the hot wire that powers the whole trailer off the battery of the vehicle when I'm not plugged in, and then I got the reverse lights hooked up to it as well. Here I ended up wiring in a little charging station, and that's a voltmeter. It tells me how many volts my battery still has. Above it is the fresh water pump. I ended up changing the switch later on because I found this water pump switch that says water pump. I thought it was really cool and it looked good, so I bought it and switched it out. Here I started making the cupboard doors. I made them hollow just to save weight on the front end, the tongue. I finally got them mounted. I think they look awesome. I use the soft closing hinges, and they also help keep it shut. I also put in some aluminum to help hold things in the doors, like that pan there. It keeps it out of the way. The bar there will hold a washcloth. That tray will hold the dish soap. I bought this Rubbermaid garbage can that goes on the door. Here you can see my fire extinguisher and just another tray holding some lighters and whatnot. Now this is really cool. I searched all over the internet trying to find something like this, and I finally found it. It's a framed-in shade. The top one is a daytime shade. The bottom one is a nighttime shade and lets no light in. And here is a sliding screen door. I saw this on another camper and thought it was the coolest thing. So I just searched and searched and searched and finally found it again online. One weekend we finally decided to go camping, so I went up to the garage and I loaded everything. Here are the snowmobiles. I want to load those just to make sure they fit. And there's plenty of room up front if I need to open the doors and whatnot. Here's our four-wheelers. We go to the dunes a lot. They fit nicely. The handlebars barely fit underneath the bed. I didn't measure that, so I'm glad it fits. We loaded up the dirt bikes, some camping gear, and we went camping. So this is 8 months after I purchased the trailer. We finally got to go camping. This was our first camping trip. This is my girlfriend and my son on the beds laying down. The top bunk is 36 inches wide. The bottom bunk is 48 inches wide. On the top bunk there's a 3-inch memory foam mattress, and on the bottom the same thing. Here's the view from the top bunk looking back. This is all set up. When it's not set up, the table and chairs are stored against the wall there on the right behind the fireplace, and the fireplace is set aside. Here I am on the outside barbecuing. The barbecuer worked great. I bought these baskets and papers from Home Depot. I thought they were a cool camping barbecue, had a barbecue feel to it. Here I'm just sitting back next to the fire looking back at the trailer. I bought a firewood holder since then, and that's how I get my hot water, is just heating it up on the fireplace. On our way up camping, I stopped by a weigh scale and got the weight. The front axle is the top number, the back axle on the Jeep is the middle number, and the third number there is the weight of the trailer. Altogether, my gross weight is the 8,440 pounds. When I first bought the trailer, it weighed 1,300 pounds. And fully loaded with the dirt bikes and all the camping gear, it was at that 2,700. This is a trailer I came across in a residential area that made me want to buy my trailer. The black two-tone on it is what I want to do to my trailer, so I since then had bought vinyl off the internet. I'm waiting for it to come in to be shipped in, and then I'm going to do it, so that's why I don't have a picture of it yet, but I'm pretty excited to do that. So this is where I'm at with my trailer right now. I still have a lot of little knickknacks to do. I got a lot of painting to do, paint the floor, caulk a lot of spots, and do some small stuff like that. When I first bought this trailer, I thought it was just going to be a couple $100, for some creature comforts, just do some paneling, a little paint here and there, and it was going to be good to go, but I was far off from that. Countless trips to the hardware store and endless purchases off of eBay and whatnot. All the little things added up. After a while, my girlfriend was about to cut me off the account, but in the end, I knew she would enjoy it, and she does. For the 8 months of my build, though, I definitely had to limit myself on how much I could buy at a time. I was about $50 a paycheck twice a month. I didn't want her to shut me down. Now that I'm basically close to finished, the only thing I wish I can go back and change was that I wish it was taller on the inside. I'm 5'9", and this thing's 60 inches tall, so with my shoes on and a hat, when I walk around the inside of the camper, the button of my hat is like rubbing the ceiling everywhere I go, making a little trail. So I wish it was taller, and I wish I had another axle, but that's always something I can add later. Well, that is it, and thank you for watching my video. Hope you can take something from this video and use it in an idea of your own.